All right, you guys know I love using IKEA furniture hacked up for my builds, and I'm gonna hack up this twin bed for my next bed. And I'm actually gonna use two of these. And these beds I actually got pretty cheap off Craigslist. I think like $10 a piece, and maybe the other one was free. But anyways, they're very inexpensive. So I'm gonna actually use two beds, and one I'm going to hack up and use as my drawer, and the other one I'm going to hack up and have the bed itself. All right, I won't lie, it hurt quite a bit to take apart my bed and my cabinets and all that, but it's empty again. There's all the stuff that I spent so much time working on, if you remember those from a previous video. But anyways, I now have a clean slate to work on the left side, to work on my new bed, drawer, cabinet combo. All right, so I cut a 18-inch wide piece of plywood, and I'm gonna use these bed rails from that IKEA bed, one of the IKEA beds I had, to put the sides of my drawers. So I'm gonna start with the drawers, and I'm gonna build around the drawers. Okay, so this is the way the drawers will look, the drawer singular. And I'm gonna build the bed frame around it. And one thing to note is that when it's flush with the back there, you see it stops right here. So I'm gonna use this to my advantage, and then I'm gonna build the side right here, and then just use this as the retaining wall when I'm driving, so it doesn't open and close. And then I'll be able to basically lift up every time I want to pull it out, and then just drag it out. All right, so the bed frame is going to go around the drawers like this. I'm going to build it around the drawers so everything is perfectly fit. So I'm going to cut off that end there and build an end here, go from there. All right, so I got the bed frame built, and what I did right here, I have this piece down here that fits into the slats, or the grooves, the tongue and grooves of my flooring. So I used another piece of flooring. You can see it's not part of the same thing. And this is just gonna slide into that tongue and groove, like that. All right, so that's the way it's looking. So this is the mock-up with the drawers. You can see, slides in and out like that. And when it slides in all the way, it's gonna fall down underneath here, so that when I put up the wall here, it's gonna be very stable when I drive. Nothing's gonna move around. All right, so on the bottom of that drawer, I'm gonna put some carpet so that it slides a lot smoother across the wood floors. All right, so the carpet is in. I line the bottom with this carpet so that it'll be nice and smooth when it runs across the wood floor. I had to do it in two pieces because I didn't have one piece big enough, but it'll work fine. Well, let's give it a shot. All right, let's give this thing a test. All right, it's very smooth coming in and out. It's gonna work great. All right, so next up, these are part of the bed rails that went onto the side of the bed rails that the slats sat on, and I removed them to make my drawer. But I'm gonna reuse this again, and then I'm going to use this to use as the slat holder for my bed. All right, so everything's looking really good. Well, not everything. I decided that I need more height. And I've gone pretty far, but I can keep the drawer, but I need these side walls to be higher, so that I could fit more things in my drawer. So I'm gonna think about a way to either build this up higher or just buy new plywood, and that's not cheap. This 4x8 piece cost me 50 bucks. Okay, a few hours later, $50 and a bunch of cuts and reassembly. Let's just pretend we're at the same place, but with a higher base. All right, slight change of plan in where I'm going to have this sit. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push it up against the driver's seat, because all this storage area, I think it's just too valuable to be used by covering it up. So I want to shift it down so that it'll expose this storage area, and I could use it for my equipment still. Let me show you what that'll look like. So by shifting it up, I opened up this space so that I could access this storage area under here, and I could still access my my water storage and stuff right there on the side as it was previously. Up front, it's pushed up against the chair, and that's okay. I kind of wanted, at first I was originally thinking I wanted all that space open, but I think the open space is more valuable back here and I don't want to lose it. All right, so now it's stable on this end. I put this platform here, and it snaps right into the tongue and groove of the flooring. So you can see it's only for this bed section, and it holds it in. You know, I can't push it in any further, and it's perfect. So up there, I'm gonna have a slot or a blocker to keep it from moving from the top side too. I got the front side in. Looks like that. It slides in. Looks like that. All right, add a sturdy handle. Next up, I need to add some legs to the drawer so when I pull it out, I could have it extended and not fall over. And I'm gonna use that old bed frame again that I've been hacking up. Okay, so the idea is what I want to do, I have these legs into these slots that I cut out. The idea is I'm going to build a little reinforcement thing. It's just real tight right there. And then I'm going to build a bar on top to kind of hold everything down. And that's what will support the legs. It'll be nice and flush. And you'll see what I mean when I put it together. Next is that I'm going to put this piece right here in the slot. I'm going to take out this piece, of course. And then these pieces will be cut down, the legs, and it'll be held up by this bar that goes on top. All right, so first I'm going to put this bar right here, and I'm going to put it flush so that the leg will slide up nice and even, straight up, and it'll help keep it straight. And then I'll put this bar on top to cap it up, and that'll be the frame that holds the legs in tight. Screws and screws down there. I got that first piece of wood in, and that'll kind of guide the legs in nice and straight. Next piece in, so it's flush with this now, and that'll hold the legs once I screw everything in. Okay, so this is the way it's going to look like, fully extended. The legs. And let me zoom in. Of course, you can't see anything. All the hardware is on the inside. And the legs are pretty stable because, you know, I have a little slot for them. So if it does shake, that's about all the play it has. So that's good. All right, so final touches to the legs. I put a cross support bar. And inside, I have a pin. Take that out. So that pin will hold those legs in even when I lift up the whole thing. The legs will still stay in place because of those pins. All right, so now I'm going to start building the shelves and boxes for the drawers. My main purpose of this slide out drawer will be to cook and clean and things like that. So I don't want to do that in the car as much, but I do want to have that option in the future, but we'll talk about that later. But so I want to make this my kitchen station with cooking area, little sink, and microwave even down there. We'll see how it goes. Rough mock-up of what I had in mind. I wanted some water containers, a little sink. Here's my grill. There's a stove and a grill in there. There's gonna be some drawers here. You know, this is just a placeholder. I don't think I'll use drawers that small. And there will be my microwave. So I'm gonna build shelves and borders for all this stuff, and we'll see if I actually do it exactly like this or things change. You guys know me. Retaining walls for the water containers. The sink basin retaining wall, and that fits perfectly right there. And then I could have my soap dispenser and maybe some spices or something in the back right there. I just realized how stupid it was to have the pins on the inside because these things will be covering up the holes. So I'm going to relocate the pin to right here from the side. Next up is the platform for my my grill and stove. Looks like that. Looks like that with the stove on. That's the way it looks. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now let me show you the reason why I built it like this with the shelf here and a gap here. The reason is I want to have my plates and my pans and stuff underneath here. So I'm going to stock it later, but you guys could see what's going on here. All right, now if you're familiar with these propane type grills, you know there's a input port somewhere, and that is right there. So I need to make a cut so that I could easily access that. All right, there's that slot. Comes out like that. All right, so I made this slot for this propane tank holder. It'll hold if you screw it in, of course. Sits right there. Spice rack right here. Okay, so last up is the microwave. I just put it on a couple of 2x4s, and there's still some space under there for me to put a little bit of store a few smaller things in there. But that's it with the drawers. So let's test it out, push it in, and see what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Let's take a look. All right, so that's the way it looks. On the inside, everything fits nice and perfect. Now you're wondering, well, shoot, I wonder if I want to cook inside the car and access some of this stuff inside the car and use the microwave while I'm inside the car. I don't want to have to go out and pull everything out. And if you want to be a little stealth, yeah, I got a solution for that too. So just keep your eye on that, and then you'll see what I have in mind. So what I did was I cut some access holes, and you'll see how everything fits in after I put it all in. And I also took the opportunity to cut out some holes to lighten the wood load. All right, so this is how it's looking right now. I'll go through a full tour demo in another video, but today's just trying to focus on the build, and you can see all the weight reduction holes that I did and some access holes I did on the front side. So these holes work in two parts. It does reduce weight, but it actually allows me to access some of the stuff that I might want to store underneath the bed. So let me push everything in and then show you what that looks like. So looking on the inside, you could see my microwave. I exposed the dials and the door so that I could access the microwave even when everything's closed. So that's going to be nice and handy. And if you look here, I also opened up this area where that storage area is. So if I wanted to access any of that, I could also do that. And over here, you can see my sink is also exposed. So if I wanted to access, some sink area stuff, I could also do that. But I have another option for working on the sink, but that's in another video. But anyways, up next is the top. I need to make the bed top, and I want to make it so that I could open everything up so that I could get to anything inside that I want to. In addition, I want to be able to access the sink and the stove from the top if I want to do some cooking and washing up on the inside. So what I'm going to do for the bed mattress is I'm going to have this foam, and I got that exercise mat that I cut up. I'll leave a link to all this, to the mat. I've used it in many builds, but I'm going to stuff it with this guy, and I have a board at the bottom. All right, so I stuffed it all into that mattress pad, mattress pad cover. Zip it up, and I'm going to put it in. All right, so I put in those mattress pads, and the reason why I have it all in pieces is because I wanted to make it so that I could lift up and access. So if I wanted to cook, I could just move that guy right there and access my cooking stuff right there. So that's the idea. Let's put that back. So I'm just using reusing a lot of stuff I had in the past and just repurposing it. Let's take a look down there. There's the sink, some storage, and the microwave, and I had to make an extra piece because it wasn't long enough. This was only 72, and I needed 75 or so inches. But anyways, that's the way it looks. I think it looks pretty good. In another video, I'll demo everything when I put all the stuff in and I stock everything.